Okay, according to the beautiful shiny new MacBook to my left, it's 7:30, so we'll go ahead and we'll proceed with the meeting. So I'd like to welcome everyone to this meeting of this Village of Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals. The Zoning Board of Appeals is created by the statutes of the state of Illinois and by the ordinances of the Village of Skokie for the purpose of granting proper case relief from the strict terms of our zoning ordinances. The decision of this board to either grant or deny relief will be based upon the evidence presented to it and how that evidence is related to the standards for granting relief. All persons who have an interest in the case, either as petitioner or as a member of the public, either supporting or opposing the petition, or as an independent witness, will be given a chance to speak on the record and to express his or her points of view. The Zoning Board of Appeals is not a court of law, and therefore we do not follow the strict rules of evidence. However, this hearing will be conducted in such a manner as to hear only competent evidence or statements. Questions as to procedure, interpretation, and of the admissibility of statements or evidence will be ruled upon by Corporation Counsel Avi Funk, and his legal decisions will be binding upon this board. Certain cases require a covenant running with the land. This will be prepared and recorded by the Village of Skokie Legal Department, and this is done at the petitioner's expense. Whether or not a covenant is required is a determination to be made by the Corporation Counsel at the conclusion of each individual case. If a covenant running with the land is required, it cannot or will not be prepared until our court reporter has returned to the Zoning Board of Appeals a transcript of these proceedings. The Village of Skokie will notify each petitioner when the covenant has been prepared and is ready for signature. No building permits can be applied for or issued until a covenant is signed by the petitioner. Should a petition for variation be denied, or should a covenant not be required, the Board of Trustees will authorize a refund of any required fees. Should it be necessary for a petitioner to request a continuance due to lack of preparation, a case continuation fee of 1/2 of the original application fee is due prior to the rehearing date. This request must be made before any testimony begins. All petitioners must receive a vote of the majority of the zoning board present in order to decide any matter under consideration. Our full complement is normally 9 members. However, tonight's complement is 7 members, making 4 votes necessary to make a determination on a petition. Since we do not have a full board complement, you are entitled to seek a continuation of your case. But this request must be made before testimony begins. Once testimony begins before this board having less than its full complement, no appeal or rehearing will be granted on these grounds. Tonight we have 3 cases. One is a continuance from a previous meeting, and that one would be 2018-03Z, 3825 Barwell Street. And then we have 2 new cases on the agenda for tonight, 2018-04Z, 3921 to 3925 Howard Street, and 2018-05Z, 9536 Avers Avenue. And in this instance, I will now ask Corporation Counsel if proper notice has been served and notarized for these cases.
Notice is proper and correct.
Okay, thank you. All right. Before we get into proceeding with the cases tonight, in your packet, everybody has the minutes from our zoning board meeting from May the 2nd. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, right, June 6th. Looking at the wrong thing. It's like, geez, I know we haven't had that many meetings, but geez, go that far back? Yes, thank you. The meeting from the minutes of June 6th. If everybody's had a chance to read the minutes, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Okay, very good. Commissioner Gersner, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Jacobson, all in favor, voice vote, please.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, anybody opposed? No? Okay, thank you as always, Marlene. Okay, now we can go into our cases, but before I do that, I see we have several people in the audience. If you would all rise so that I can swear you in. That way we don't have to do it individually as you come up to the podium. So, do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge or belief? Please answer in the affirmative. Yes. Okay, anybody not answer in the affirmative? No, okay, great, thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and proceed with our first case, which is 2018-03Z, 3825 Brummel Street. And if the petitioner would please make their way to the podium. Let's see, Commissioner Shaw, you're in charge of this case, if I remember correctly?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, but before we go into that, staff, is there anything that we need to know as far as recent developments in the case of 2018-03Z?
The petitioner submitted the grading plan, the
Revised survey.
right of the site. You were going to meet with an engineer, was it?
We've contacted an engineering firm, civil engineering firm, to come up with a grading plan based on my conversation with Mr. Oltanu.
Yes, our
civil
our
engineer.
staff engineer,
Correct.
Sabine Oltiano.
Correct. Oltiano, okay. And at that point, we've requested an extension so we can get a grading plan together so we can review with staff, with the village, and come up with a potential solution to ward against any type of water runoff from our property to the adjacent properties, and then address the issue of the overall height of the single-family home.
Yeah, there might be some options to do some slight regrading to get closer to compliance. I don't know if it'll be full compliance, but it'll definitely be closer to compliance, but without negatively impacting the neighboring properties. And I know you've been in contact with our civil engineer, so staff has no problem with one last continuation, maybe to the second meeting in August, so we can meet, they can come up with a plan, we can meet with the architect owner of the site and come up with a good plan and, revised elevation that hopefully either meets or gets closer to the height requirement.
Yeah, to the standard. That's fine. And before I go any further, I just want to recognize Mr. Orzeski, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Before, since we went right into this without recognizing, your presence at the podium, and that you are indeed the petitioner and you're...
That is correct.
Okay. So that being said, if we are to do a continuation, we have no meeting on August 1st. The next meeting to which this will have a final resolution would be August 15th.
Yeah, I think once we would meet, we would hopefully come up in the next couple of weeks, I
Yes.
think. But this way, that'll definitely give us enough time for him to get, for the applicant to get a working plan, talk to staff about it, meet with staff about it, and probably do another site visit to go over things and come up
Correct.
with a good plan.
Okay.
The height then could be adjusted, and we could come up with a good grading plan that we're not going to negatively impact any neighboring properties. That our civil engineer also will sign off and approve, and at least recommend that can review and recommend also.
Okay, great. So then, again, that was August 15th would be that next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Does that meet with your approval, Mr. Orzesky?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, great. Then we'll look forward to seeing you back here on August 15th, and hopefully we'll have a final amicable resolution to this situation.
That would be great.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much. Have a
Okay,
good evening.
all right, we'll see you on the 15th then. Thank you. Okay, so 2018-03Z is continued to August 15th. To 8:15. Okay, then we'll go ahead and we'll proceed with the first of our new cases for tonight, which would be 2018-04Z, 3921 to 3925 Howard Street. And if the petitioner would please step up to the podium. Commissioner Gerstner is handling this case tonight. So, Alan, please go ahead and...
Is that the Howard Street?
Yeah, Howard Street, correct. Yeah. So you go ahead and present the case. And...
Okay.
All right.
Okay. How do you pronounce your name?
Shravan Shrestha.
Shravan?
Shravan Shrestha.
Okay, Shrawin and Sestra?
Shrestha, last name is Shrestha.
Okay. Shawin and Sarita Sestra request a variation in order to locate a beauty parlor at 3925 Howard Street and provide 10 parking spaces rather than the 12 minimum, as required by Section 118-218 of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in a B1 service commercial district. Okay. We have a letter in. You want this in, this letter of intent?
Yeah, that looks like, that would be the petitioner's statement.
No,
No?
no.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna guess that this would serve as a petitioner's statement in that it's, in supporting for the request for variance. So, I think that would be,
Crystal Wallace?
Yes, I'm Crystal Wallace.
Okay.
okay, very good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I have a letter of intent in support of the request for variation, 3925 Howard Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60076. This letter of intent is in support of my request for a variance to parking for the salon. I know that there is a limitation on use of this property due to its 12 parking space required for a salon in this zone. There is 10 parking spaces on this premises, 5 in the back and 5 in the front. However, I was given permission that I can occupy 2 parking spaces at the church next door from the church board. I understand that there is a limitation on the use of this property due to physical, topographical, and geologic features. Also, without a variance, there can be no reasonable use of this property. I am complying with the rules of this zoning. Furthermore, in this case, parking is the variance issue at 3925 Howard Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60076. Therefore, I am requesting the board to consider the fact with continued or maintain 10 parking spaces or the use of 2 extra parking spaces by the church parking lot. Thank you for your consideration. Respectfully submitted, Crystal Wallace. And let's see what else we've got here. Any staff?
Yeah, I would go with that.
Okay. Staff comments from the Community Development Department. The petitioner is proposing to locate a beauty parlor at 3925 Howard Street. This is the third variation request for the parking in the past 7 years. In 2011, a variation was granted allowing a beauty parlor to operate at 3925 Howard with 10 parking spaces provided rather than the 12 parking spaces required. In 2014, a speech therapist was granted a parking variation in order to operate at 3925 Howard Street with 10 parking spaces instead of required 12 parking spaces. To staff's knowledge, we have not received any complaints about parking regarding this subject in the past 7 years. The petitioner's request is similar in nature to the previous request. All 3 requests resulted in a parking variation for 10 spaces provided on site rather than the required 12. As long as the beauty parlor operator sees clients by appointment only, staff does not envision any parking issues.
Okay, great.
Okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Alan. Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
All right. Could you please tell us your name and spell it so we may have it for the record? Whoever would like to speak first?
My name is Crystal Wallace.
Okay.
Crystal is spelled Cristal.
Uh-huh.
Wallace, Wallace.
Okay. And you would be the proprietor of the beauty salon that's looking for the parking variance?
Yes.
Okay. And the gentleman next to you is the property owner?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, well, whoever would like to speak first, please go ahead. And sir, if it's you, then please step up to the podium and spell your name and tell us what it is so we may have it for the record.
Okay, my name is Shravan Shrestha, Shrawan.
Okay,
Shravan, this is my first name.
okay,
And last name is Shrestha, Shrestha.
okay, all right, very good. Thank you, sir. And you're the owner of the property?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, who would like to go forward and tell us why we're here tonight?
Let us speak.
So I'm here for, I would like to locate the salon at 3925 Howard Street, and I'm requesting parking verification because of the 10 parking that is there, and we need to have 12, which is required by the Village of Skokie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to ask you for allowance to go ahead and have a beauty salon at this location,
Mm-hmm.
with just using the 10 parking space. And we also have a approval from the church,
Oh.
letter saying that it's okay to go ahead and use the extra 3 parking space there.
Okay. All right, that's great. Well,
It's drivers
Oh.
updating themselves.
awesome. Well, good thing we have a tech expert here to explain those strange noises that pop up once in a while. Staff, if I may ask something real quick, I didn't happen to notice the letter from, and I know the church, that's the Lakeside Church.
Yeah,
Yes.
we haven't received a letter. I know there's been a mutual agreement in the past. One of the other variations also had just a general letter from the church allowing excess parking.
Okay.
There was also another variation granted for a dentist further down the block to the east of the site that also received a letter from the church that said they were allowed to park in a couple parking spaces if they have overflow parking.
Okay,
So the church has always been a good neighbor with allowing several spaces to be used for neighboring businesses in the area if they have overflow parking.
oh,
And like I said in the staff report, I spoke with traffic engineering, and don't have any records of traffic parking complaints in the area due to the businesses on Howard Street.
okay, great, thank you. But I just wanted to make sure that you can vouch for the veracity of the petitioner's statement that the church allows for overflow parking.
There has been other letters for the previous variations for this site and for other sites, yes.
Cool, very good, thank you.
We have the letter here.
Well, I have the permit later from the
Oh.
church, and I can
All right, great.
present you.
Now you got it.
Yeah, now we got it.
See how quick that went?
Okay. Okay. Similar to the other ones, okay. Okay, great. We'll go ahead and have Corporation Counsel read this into the record so it could be submitted as evidence. Just go ahead and read it off, simple as that.
Request for parking spaces, Crystal Beauty Salon, 3925 West Howard Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60076. Our church deacon board has approved your request for the use of 3 parking spaces in our parking lot during the following time periods. This approval is contingent upon Village of Skokie approval. You will need to provide us with a copy of a certificate of approval from the village stating we are both in compliance with village parking requirements. The time periods are to include Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are, however, requiring the use of these spaces back each Sunday, all day, and evening. The 3 parking spaces are located along the south and easternmost property lines along Jerome Avenue. Please note that this approval and request is approved for 1 year and will be reviewed/renewed each year. Thank you sincerely, Carl Sugihara, Building Manager.
All right, great. So now it's part of the record, and so we have it officially. We'll give this to court reporter at her convenience. Okay, great. So we have that. Hey, now that you've spoken, we've gotten the letter mentioning that we have the additional parking overflow at Lakeside Church. Commissioner Gersner, what's your impressions upon this case?
Well, I know that area very well because our synagogue used to be that church. And I went to My kids went to school over there, and there is a lot of parking in that lot. That used to be Temple Beth Israel. I know where the location is. It's 2 doors to the east of where the church is right now. Again, I have never seen any problem with parking there. There is plenty of parking both in the front and the back and on the side street to the east. And with the 3 spaces they're giving them at the church, I don't see any problem there. So, and I like to see new businesses come to Skokie. So,
Absolutely. I'll totally agree to that. And I'd like to say, I know that, and as Commissioner Gersner mentioned, that this request has been approved a couple times before, but yet I don't think a business ever moved in there even after the approval. So,
The speech therapist was in there the speech therapist did occupy the space.
Almost 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
the speech therapist was there, but our parking requirement is a little bit higher due to the nature of the business,
Yeah.
that they could potentially have multiple therapists on site, multiple patients, but I
Yeah.
don't think that was ever the case. I think it was one person operating the practice and seeing individually or very small groups, if that. So
Right.
like I said, we've never seemed to have a parking issue or
Yeah.
complaints from that site.
yeah, that's awesome. Because the one I recalled doing an approval on was also a beauty salon, going back to some years ago, that was mentioned. But that was the one that I don't think ever opened.
That I'm not sure. I know
Yeah.
the speech therapist did go in the
Did
beauty
they?
salon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's cool. So anyway, I just wanted to say, it's nice to see a continuation of new business coming in there, and, hopefully it'll be very successful. That being said, anything you'd like to close with, or if not, that's okay.
No, I would just like to say thank you.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome, thank you. Any other questions for the petitioner, or?
Just to get this in the record, so Crystal,
Yeah.
how many stylists will there be working at any one time?
2.
Okay, that's all.
Two. And generally, like you said, it'll be by appointment, there's not,
only.
okay, all right, great. Any other questions for petitioner, staff? If not, the chairman will entertain a motion.
okay, let me get the motion up here.
Okay.
You'll have to give me some leadway because I was given this case
Yeah.
a few hours ago because the person that was in charge of the case was not able to be here tonight, so
Would that help?
I was just gonna, sure. Okay, I gotta piece this together here. Okay. Mr. Chairman, I propose the following in granting of a variance to the petitioner as follows, that, okay, I'm gonna butcher your name, okay?
Okay.
Sharwan and Sharitha,
Sarita is my wife's name.
Okay.
That's his name.
okay.
I just represent.
We had you spell it for the record at the very
Yes,
beginning.
that's why we had you spell it.
No problem.
Request is the owner of a lot described in case number 2018-04Z-3921 for the property located at 3925 Howard Street, Skokie, Cook County, Illinois, that said lot is a plotted lot of record is and abutted by businesses on the east and west, that a determination has been made in which the petitioner's request is consistent with the majority of the findings of fact as stated in the Village of Skokie zoning chapter. I therefore propose that a variance be granted to the petitioner for giving failure to comply with the requirements of the zoning ordinance of the Village of Skokie as amended as to off-street parking. We're getting there. This is like a puzzle here. Okay.
You're doing fine, Alan.
That the petitioner be granted the variance to locate a beauty parlor at 3925 Howard Street and provide 10 parking spaces rather than the minimum 12 as required by section 118-218 of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in a B1 service commercial district. That all other codes and ordinance of the Village of Skokie shall be fully and strictly complied with.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Yay, huzzah. Okay, I have a motion to approve, no conditions. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Wow.
Don't fight.
Yeah, right. Well, should I put second and third then, if that being the case? Well, we'll give this one to Commissioner Perlin, considering he just became a grandfather. So, okay, so the chair will go ahead and call the roll. Commissioner Perlin.
Yes.
Let's see, Commissioner Franklin.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw.
Yes.
Commissioner Gersner.
Aye?
Commissioner Jacobson.
Aye.
Commissioner Kirkpatrick.
Aye.
And the chair will vote aye. Okay, so in the case of 2018-04Z, the request for the variation for the parking spaces has been approved, 7-0. So congratulations. Staff, if you may refresh my memory, there's the covenant running with the land for this.
Yes.
Only applies for as long as the tenant is in this location.
Correct, this tenant.
Okay, so do the court reporter still needs to fill out the, or I'm sorry, the village still needs to fill out the covenant?
Correct.
Okay, so, all right, so that's it. All right,
Thank you.
but you'll be notified but from the village when the covenant's ready for signature, and then you can proceed with,
Yeah, the owner of the property will have to sign the covenant, and then we'll be in touch with the tenant about scheduling a certificate of occupancy inspection.
okay, did you get all that?
So we'll be calling the owner when the covenant's ready to sign, and we'll be contacting the tenant to schedule the occupancy inspection.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right, congratulations.
Good luck.
Yeah, welcome, and we appreciate your business, and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Alan, thank you for presenting that case in such a pinch. You know, it's not easy having something like that foisted on you at the last second, you know? Yes. Okay. Okay, that's taken care of, so we'll go ahead and we'll move on to our second case, 2018-05Z, 9536 Avers Avenue. Would the petition please step up to the podium? And I know that Commissioner Arden originally had this case. Okay. Commissioner Franklin is presenting this case, so Cindy, please go ahead and proceed. Oh, notice has been proper in this, so, yeah. What, the notice?
The what?
Yeah, no,
Both cases, okay.
yeah, yep, that's up, we're all good.
Okay. So, case 2018-05Z-9536 Avers Avenue. Patrick and Aaron Rams request a variation in order to construct a second-floor addition with a cantilever in the rear yard above an existing legal non-conforming attached garage, continuing the existing 3-foot side yard rather than the 6-foot minimum side yard, as required by Section 118-111-6A of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in an R1 single-family district. The petitioner's statement to the Village of Skokie Zoning Board of Appeals. We would like to please request a variance for the addition above our existing garage consistent to the following findings. There is a limitation on use of the property due to physical, topographical, and geologic features. In our case, we are in the same line as the existing garage. The property owner did not create the necessity for the variance. The existing garage was already there upon us purchasing the home this past November. The request is the minimum variance necessary to allow reasonable use of the property. We do not want to build any type of overhang or cantilevering on the north end of the garage. We would like to utilize the existing attic space above the garage for a bedroom and a bathroom to accommodate our large family. The request will not be injurious to public health, safety, or welfare, and the subject site possesses one or more unique characteristics generally not applicable to similarly situated properties. The majority of the homes in the neighborhood have added bedrooms over the existing garage, as we would like to do. Respectfully, Patrick J. Rams and Aaron F. Rams, homeowners.
Okay, great. Okay, and then if you would just read the comment from the Forestry Division from the staff report?
Yes, the first, I would just like to say that the Appearance Committee approved the petitioner's request at its June 13th meeting.
Okay.
And the Forestry Division has no objections to the petitioner's request. Any parkway and site trees not removed will require tree protection during construction, and any trees to be removed will require approval from forestry and a permit.
Okay, that's great. That's fine. Thank you very much. Hi, good evening.
Hello.
How are you? Would you please, whoever would like to speak first, please tell us who you are and spell your name so we may have it for the record?
I'm Erin Rams, E-R-I-N, Rams, R-A-M-S, the homeowner. We're requesting to add a bedroom and bathroom over the garage.
Okay.
We have 3 kids, 3 girls, and 1 bathroom upstairs right now.
Wow.
They're young, but as they grow older, we would like to have a second bathroom on the 2nd floor and an additional bedroom. So we would just like to build over the existing garage with the cantilever in the back for a little added space for the closet and bathroom.
Okay.
And yeah, and we don't want to go over the north end in any way.
Okay. So is there anything else you'd like to add at this point? When you told me that you got 3 daughters and you need the extra bathroom, I kind of fixated on that right away, you know?
They're young now, but I just foresee as they get older, our younger 2 are 3 and 5, and then we have an 11-year-old, and just we're all using 1 bathroom right now, which is fine. But as they get older, we would like to have a second full bath in the house. So
you understand 3 teenage girls will not be able to use 1 bathroom. You're really going to need another one.
So we'll share ours.
Awesome. And who's the handsome gentleman that's standing next to you there?
James Walsh, Walsh Custom Homes.
Okay.
Contractor.
Okay, so James Walsh, okay. Is there anything you would like to tell us about this project, Mr. Walsh?
Just I know they're opposing the rear cantilever on the backside, but the stairs and the bathroom, existing bathroom on the front is kind of pushing the addition to need to go to the rear.
Okay.
So that was the reason that the cantilever was designed in the plan.
Okay. All right, anything else you'd like to add at this time? If not, then I'll let Commissioner Franklin give us her impressions on this project. So, go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, hi. I did visit the site, and as it happens, met the homeowners. We were all out taking walks, and heard the explanation, obviously, for the new rooms. But also, I would say on that street, almost every house has a 2nd floor built over the garage. It's very consistent with the street and the neighborhood, but particularly your street and your side of the street. That would be almost conforming with other homes in that area.
Okay. Yeah, I even noticed myself that the home itself was built in 1941. Yeah, so back then, things were drastically different from a zoning standpoint than they are today, obviously. Go ahead.
I was just going to add, the other thing is, we were chatting, and the homeowners moved in November and are clearly planning on staying in Skokie, in the neighborhood, and are trying to make their house work for them so that they can, which I find very positive.
Yeah, definitely admirable, to say the least. Anybody else have any questions for the petitioners at all?
I do.
Yeah, Commissioner Gersner.
For the builder. So this is going over the garage. So is there new structural members going in the garage, above the garage to hold that second story?
Correct. So the existing garage roof and ceiling will be removed, and then new floor structure and wall and roof structure will be installed in its place.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, of
That's all.
course. Excellent question. Any other questions for petitioner at all? Or staff in this particular case? Just the one thing I'd like to go back to, Mr. Walsh. You explained the cantilever. If this board was to find that against that request, what sort of fiscal hardship or hardship to the petitioner would that incur? In other words, I'm trying to see if you can bolster, your request for that particular aspect of the variation.
Well, it would have just impacted the design as far as where the hallway, what we're doing is remove that existing wall to existing bedroom number 4. We're going to move that over to create a hallway next to the stairs,
Okay,
and then to the new doorway into the master bedroom. But obviously to the right of that is the stair location and the existing bathroom. So that's our only location to access the area above the garage.
Okay.
So the cantilever gives us the space we need to access that space.
got it.
And below that is, on the first floor plan, there's an existing addition that goes out the back into the rear yard. So it wouldn't impact the rear yard at all, and
Okay.
it would just blend in with it.
So in other words, if the cantilever wasn't allowed, it would significantly reduce the square footage of the bedroom, or?
It would, but the main thing was it would impact access
Yeah,
to that space.
okay,
I mean,
got it.
the only access we have to that space is to the left of the stairs, is that space right there.
Right. So in other words, it would be a pretty severe hardship to your customer if that wasn't to be allowed.
It would.
Yeah, okay. That's why I wanted to get on the record to help bolster your request.
I have a question.
Yeah, Commissioner
I actually have a
Kirkpatrick.
question for Brian. I'm not sure why the cantilever is so objectionable. It's going in the back, it doesn't affect any neighbors. So I'm just curious as to why staff found it a problem.
If this was new construction, this would not be allowed to be that close to the side lot line. It is a minimal cantilever. It's not a major addition. It's not 10, 15-foot back with a 3-foot side. The side yard is 3 foot. It's not a 5.5-foot side yard. It's not a 4-foot. It's a 3-foot side yard. It's 3
But I
feet.
thought it's not going into the side yard.
No, the request is to continue the existing 3-foot
Right.
setback. The cantilever behind the garage is continuing the 3-foot setback further than the footprint of the garage, which
Oh,
is
okay.
legal non-conforming.
But it
Staff-
doesn't extend into the neighbor's yard, it extends into their own.
It doesn't extend further into the,
Right.
it doesn't lessen the existing nonconformity. It continues it it continues it more than the footprint of the garage
Okay.
that's nonconforming.
Right. So in other words, it lengthens it along the side lot
Correct.
line.
It's only a few feet, but it does increase, it is further increasing a non-conforming setback instead of 6 foot. If this was a 6-foot setback, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
They'd be
right,
able to build it right.
Of course. And as I'd like to, Commissioner Gersner, did you have something else? Oh, I'm sorry, okay. Anybody else in the audience like to add anything to this? So, So, okay, that's good. Anything else then for staff or the petitioner? If not, then the chair will go ahead and entertain a motion.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I propose the following in the granting of a variance to the petitioner as follows. That Patrick and Aaron Rams, or Aaron in this case, is the owner of the lot described in case number 2018-05Z at the property located at 9536 Avers Avenue, Skokie, Cook County, Illinois. That said lot is a platted lot of record and is abutted by single-family dwellings on the north and south. That a determination has been made in which the petitioner's request is consistent with a majority of the findings of fact as stated in the Village of Skokie zoning chapter. I therefore propose that a variance be granted to the petitioner for giving failure to comply with the requirements of the zoning ordinance of the Village of Skokie as amended as to the side yard requirement. That the petitioner be granted the variance in order to construct a second-floor addition with a cantilever in the rear yard above an existing legal non-conforming attached garage, continuing the existing 3-foot side yard rather than the 6-foot minimum side yard as required by Section 118-1116A of the zoning chapter of the Skokie Village Code in an R1 single-family district. That all other codes and ordinances of the Village of Skokie shall be fully and strictly complied with.
Okay, all right, thank you, Cindy. So I have a motion to approve without conditions. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, this time we'll give the second to Commissioner Shaw. Great, okay. So we have a motion to approve without conditions. The chair will go ahead and call the roll. Commissioner Kirkpatrick?
Aye.
Okay, Commissioner Jacobson?
Aye.
Commissioner Gersner?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw?
Yes.
Commissioner Franklin?
Aye.
Commissioner Perlin?
Yes.
And the chair will vote aye. Okay. So in the case of 2018-05Z, the request for variation has been approved 7-0. Congratulations. Corporation Counsel, I will ask, what does the petitioner need to know from here on out as far as covenant is concerned?
A covenant running with the land will be required, and the village will notify you when it's ready for your signature.
Okay.
Thank you all very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you, we
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
good luck with that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It looks very nice.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right. Probably the first big something that's been done to that property since 1941.
That house has to be plastered, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not drywall.
Totally trying to update.
All right.
Yeah, we lived in the area before, but outgrew our other homes, so,
Wow.
you know, now, the bedrooms that are currently there are really good size.
Mm.
It'd be nice to add this and be done.
Well, that's awesome. So, thanks for staying in the village. So, we appreciate it. All right, well, good luck.
Look real nice.
Okay, all right, have a good evening. All right,
Okay, we're
that was a nice resolution, once again. We like to have happy resolutions okay. The only unhappy thing is that we have a cancellation of our August 1st meeting for lack of cases. So, that being said, we'll have our next meeting, August 15th, where we will at least hear, hopefully for the last time, presentation of 2018-3Z and anything else that may come along.
We will have other cases.
We will have
Yes,
other cases
Correct.
for the
We'll be
15th.
sending the notice out
Right.
probably next week for that. We will have other cases.
All right, well, in that case, I'll be looking for my name in the Skokie Review. That's how I know we're gonna have a meeting. Okay, anything else anybody would like to bring up?
We had a wonderful parade.
Yes, we had a wonderful parade. Thank you, Commissioner Gersner, as always. And congratulations to Commissioner Perlin for becoming a recent grandfather.
Yes, and I
And?
just want to thank your daughter for not having the child on the 4th of July, so you could drive me, so.
At 7:13 PM on 7/13.
Okay.
weighing 714. We tried to get the doctor to put 713.
He wouldn't
Is
do
it-
it, huh?
Yeah, well,
So-
we didn't push that hard.
Oh, okay.
See, now, everybody in the village of Skokie that's watching this on TV knows all about your grandchild, because I haven't adjourned the meeting as of yet.
That's perfect.
If there's nothing else,
record.
it's on the record. If there's nothing else in this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for Village of Skokie is adjourned. Thank you very much.